Okay, so I started college 3 years ago as a 17-year-old, and my first class was public speaking, and I was terrified. But I learned right during that class. I walked out and I was smiling, and it was because even though I would have to put up with a semester of public speaking, that I was excited for college and for the opportunities to come. So I came up with 11 ways or tips that help you survive and thrive in college, and this is what worked for me, so hopefully it works for you too. So the first one is to do things that you're not used to. So step out of your comfort zone. I knew that I wasn't comfortable with public speaking, but I wanted to be better. So I took the public speaking class instead of the interpersonal class. And this goes beyond just classes. So if you're not used to
You can change, you can use the other microphone, maybe that one, the battery is running out.
So if you're not used to being involved, to get involved. The second one is to embrace change. And change is scary for a lot of people. A lot of people like it, a lot of people don't. But with change, you're coming from high school, so you're going into a university filled with all these people that you've probably never met, all these new professors, all these classes you've never taken. But with that change comes an opportunity to grow and to gain knowledge. My third point is to get involved, and I found that by getting involved for me that I was able to discover who I am. And so my number one regret actually in high school was not getting involved earlier. I got involved in honor societies and clubs my junior year, and that was just because I got rejected by the National Honor Society because I didn't have enough extracurriculars. So that year I joined all these clubs, and I became officers in them, and then the next year I got accepted. So when I went into college, I knew, okay, I need to get involved right away. So don't scare yourself from getting involved, because there's kind of like the stigma, like, oh, you're president of this and this club, like, oh, you're a nerd. But really, like, it definitely gives you opportunities, and it gives you something to put on your resume too. So utilize the time and the energy that you have your freshman and sophomore year, and go to the career fairs, go to the club fairs, and ask questions. There's always kiosks at Mason, I know, and they're there like all the time. So if you go and you stop by and you ask them, how can I get involved? What exactly do you do? They're very open to that. My third point is to branch out from just the Muslim organizations, because we tend to navigate towards the Muslim Student Association, which is great, but also venture out to the clubs that you're not really familiar with. So join like humanitarian clubs, and you might find that you have an interest in pursuing that. So it gives you an opportunity to find out what really interests you. Step out of your comfort zone. I found that I was really, like, I looked at my resume my freshman year of college, and it was mostly like Muslim this, Muslim that. But I realized that, I was doing all these things because I was scared of joining the clubs that I really wanted to join, because I felt like I wasn't good enough. So just take that first step to really get involved, and it really helps like your senior year, because you built for yourself like a foundation to set you apart from other students. The fourth point is to be proactive. Take control of your life, like plan out what you want to do during your college years. If you need if you know that you need money to pay for your tuition, then apply for scholarships, and go to the Career Center, ask for help. Because if you don't, then you're gonna sit there, watch TV all day and all night, and then feel bad like right before the semester, I don't have enough money. But if you apply for those scholarships and you really work hard enough, you'll get them. And then my fifth point is to believe in yourself. Please, please, please believe in yourself, because I see a lot of friends who always kind of complain to me like, I'm not good enough, I can't do this. And then they compare themselves to others and they're like, they're so successful and I'm sitting here and I can't get this internship, I can't get this job. But you really have to believe in yourself before others can believe in you. And we all have this voice in our head that tells us that we're not good enough. And my sophomore year, I was in this journalism class, and my professor told the whole class, we all have this voice and we need to stop listening to it. Whenever you're about to do something you really want to do, it's like, no, you can't do this. You're not good enough. But you are good enough, and everyone has potential. So once I found that I need to tone this voice out, I was able to pursue opportunities I dreamed of having. And I found that overall it made me a happier person, because I wasn't getting depressed by the idea that I'm never gonna get to where I want to get to. Because when you think positive, your actions reflect that. The other thing is to not worry, and I know as college students we worry a lot, but we don't have to have everything figured out now. We're in that middle phase. We're not kids anymore, but at the same time we're not at the same level as our parents, but we're not expected to know everything yet. And so I find that sometimes I sit there and I'm like, I'm scared because what if I fail? What if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do? But it's okay if you make a plan and you list out your goals and you use sticky notes, you use lists on your iPhone, your reminders. You'll find that when you're accomplishing them, you feel better about yourself, and then also it makes you worry less. And then don't give up, because the Huffington Post reported that only 56% of those who started college in 2007 actually finished their coursework. And also last weekend I was sitting with my dad and he was peeling clementines because we were at the park, and there's this one clementine, and I went grocery shopping, so I was the one that bought them, and he's like, look, there's a brown spot on it, why'd you bring this one? I'm like, Baba. And then I was like, just throw it away. And then he was like, no, why would I throw it away? So he takes the knife and he cuts off the bad part, and then I just sat there looking at him, and I was thinking, wow, that's the difference between his generation and our generation, because if we don't like something, or if something doesn't work for us, we're just gonna throw it away. We're gonna replace it with something better, something that we like. And this isn't just about a clementine or just your career or your education. It has to do with our relationships, our friendships, how easily we give up on stuff. And so it made me realize how we really need to stick to what we're doing. And if something's hard, if a class is difficult and you're not doing as well as you should, stick to it and work even harder. And it'll make you stronger in the end too. And it'll also open up opportunities, and big opportunities too. Another thing I've noticed is that we're thinking too much about getting to the top. We want to get to the top as soon as possible. but you have to start somewhere. And if you want a job at that big company, you might have to start out as an intern first. And there's this idea that we have that, you know, eventually we will make it, we'll get there, right? But I think that we really need to stop thinking like this because it stifles us. Because if we don't get there, then we're disappointed and we're like, okay, we're just not good enough, and then you get depressed and then you stop trying. And then if you do get there, you just stay at the same level and you stop improving. So if we get rid of this mindset that you never really make it, you're constantly in a state of learning and growing and trying to be better, then that will help us, and you'll find out your true potential that way. And the 9th point I have is that there's life beyond education in your career. We all have families, we all have friends, we all have hobbies, and we just need to find a way to balance that out and to manage our time. And I wrote an article for one of my internships at WTOP, a radio station in DC, and it was about how top executives, they have this like new philosophy where you do more by doing less. And that means when you have free time, when you have a vacation, that you really take advantage of it. You don't look at your phone, you don't look at your email for work, you don't go on the computer, you just really relax, because once that's over, then you'll be fresh, like you'll be able to do more that way. So really take advantage of your free time and spend time with friends and family. You know, college is really stressful, so you should really find things that help you relieve that, whether it's exercise or just walking in the park or something like that. And then my 10th point is to find yourself. Find out what you like, what you don't like, what you want to do for the rest of your life. You know, that's a big question that we all have. Like, what is it that I really want to do? What do I want to accomplish? And give time for yourself. Like, you need to learn how to be alone. That doesn't mean being on your phone when you have like 5 minutes before a class. It means like sit down and really think to yourself and like think out loud too. You know, even like talking to yourself, and I might sound crazy doing this, but it really, really helps. Like if you sit down and you list out your accomplishments, your achievements, and like who you think you are too, it really helps you figure yourself out. And lastly, always pray. Before that exam, make dua that Allah makes it easier for you. Before walking into an interview or submitting an application for a job, pray. And I found that it really, really helps. It helps me, like, whenever I'm traveling, I always pray, Ya Allah, please make this semester easy on me. Please, like, have me benefit from this. I was, before my internship at the radio station, I had an internship at a PR firm. And I hated it. I didn't benefit anything from it. And I almost gave up on internships altogether. But then I made dua that, inshallah, this internship, I not only love it, but I can benefit from it and use it for the future. And alhamdulillah, I did. Like, I loved it. So really, ultimately, if you have a good relationship with Allah, then you'll be able to survive and thrive in college and like in life in general. So just keeping those points in mind, you'll be set to go.